Okay, here we are back again with episode 10. What an annoying truck. So, viewers last time could go either this way, down this Fitzel pool, or whatever you call it, or forward, straight ahead. So that is what got the most votes this time around, and that's the direction we are going to be heading. Now, as you can see here, there is a massive traffic jam. I mean, this is not even Sydney City, and it's just, traffic has just been non-stop going along here. This is, when you hear about Sydney, you'll often hear about stuff like, oh yeah, Sydney is just a big rat race. If you wonder what that means, this is what it is. These are the rats, and they're in the race. Well, the race is finished. They're really just going home right now. But there's the rats, and they're in the race to get to the city every morning. So basically, not everyone here in Sydney lives in the city. People often live here, like, for example, Brookvale. This is the area we... Jeez, that scared the heck out of me. Happen to be in right now, and yeah, a lot of people who work in the cities do live around here and in the northern beaches, and they spend, you know, an hour, even more, trying to just get to work every morning. Now imagine that, an hour to, you know, get to work, an hour to get home. That's 2 hours of your day wasted. Every single day you're wasting 2 hours, and possibly even more if you know, I mean, 1 hour is, you know, sometimes for some people a pretty good trip. Some people it takes 2 hours just to get to the city and back every morning, you know, depending on how far away you live. Anyway, let's keep making our way forward here. Now, what is Brookvale? From what I've seen, it's a very kind of industrial type place overall. And it can be quite busy and trafficy in Brookvale, mainly because it's also kind of, if you're going to Brookvale, you're often either going to the city or you're also making your way to the Central Coast sometimes. The Central Coast is like another region. It's out, some people call it a part of Sydney, but it's really not. It's, well, in my eyes, it's not. It's, you know, it's Gosford, it's Terrigal, it's all that. And that, yeah, there's a massive, like, you get Hornsby, and then after Hornsby, it's just this massive bunch of green, untouched land for ages. And then you get into the Central Coast. Anyway, so what are we going to talk about this time? Well, let's talk about one reason that I dislike computer technology. I mean, you know, I'm pretty much all for it, often, most of the time. But one thing I absolutely can't stand about computer technology, and, you know, all things being customizable and all stuff like that, is, for example, when I was coding back a while ago, I'm sure you all know about ShiftOS. ShiftOS is this game where you're, how do you explain it? You can't explain it briefly, but it's basically a game setting a basic operating system, and your, you know, goal is to improve the operating system and get new programs and stuff like that. Let's go forward here. And anyway, after that, one of the reasons I quit ShiftOS development, someone else is working on it now. Go check out the ShiftOS channel. Michael's working on it now. Anyway, one of the reasons I quit was because it drove me absolutely nuts when I would be coding something. It would work on my computer that I've coded it on. It would look great. It would function just the way I want it to. Then someone else runs ShiftOS. Oh, it doesn't boot. The screen is all messed up. Words are cut off and stuff like that. So for me, it would be, you know, absolutely fine and everything. What is Big Blast? That is something. Oh, party. Gosh. There is a lot of traffic around here. Okay. Anyway, but that's what often frustrated me about, you know, developing software. I can never get into that in real life. I mean, another example of that, Action. Action is a screen recorder which I like. That's something I can say. I do like it, but I am having problems with it right now. Gosh, I've got to compete with this traffic in this area. Frustrating. Brookvale traffic. Yeah, so now I've lost what I'm and it stinks around here because of all this pollution. Anyway, I was talking about something and now I've completely forgotten This is what you get for walking around Brookvale traffic. Oh, look at that. There's motorbikes for sale over there. How much are they? I've never like looked into motorbikes or exactly how much they cost. From $3,999. Oh, okay. You know what? The funny thing about where we are now is it's Beacon Hill Road. Yeah, I know Beacon Hill. We seem to be getting really close to where I used to work, actually. For my third job. Anyway, I don't know if I can go here or not. Is that... I think that's Brookvale School over there. Yeah, I didn't go to Brookvale School. At one point I actually had to pick up 2 girls from Brookvale School and take them to a family daycare that I ran and owned. In fact, you know what? There is a chance in this video, if I walk quite quickly, we'll actually be able to see the actual unit where I ran a family daycare centre from. But I don't think we'll make it that far in this video, but we could. We potentially could. Okay. Anyway, let's talk, and now I remember what I was talking about. The Action screen recorder. So basically with Action, it works 100% on my Surface. It's perfect. You press record, select ultra quality and all that. It works. No issues, you know. It's perfect. Then you run it on my Alienware Area 51 desktop computer, which is a pretty beefy computer. It was kind of like almost top of the range of what you could get for 2014, and it's got a Titan Z and, you know, all that fancy stuff. Anyway, the point here that I'm trying to make is that it won't run properly on that computer. You run Action on it, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm going to record blurry. I'm going to record as if it's 720p upscaled to 1080p. You know, it's so frustrating. And then sometimes it will record clear with the same settings, and sometimes it won't. You see, that's not an issue with what they've coded. I mean, you've told the computer to do one thing, to just record and do it in this format, and then, you know, someone else tries to run it and it just doesn't work, even though they've got the exact same settings. And that is one of the things that really, really frustrate me about computers these days, that different computers will run software differently to what they're intended to be run like. Anyway, on that topic of Action and screen recording, I had this big issue when I was like on OS First Timer posting that, which is another one of my channels, that has, I think, 59,200 subscribers, something crazy. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. They've got pencils coming up. Anyway, now I had lost what I was talking about because of those massive pencils at Brookvale, the school that's been around since 1902. Anyway, we are going this way. Look at this. You can really see this is quite a, you know, built up area. It's real industrial, that type thing. Okay, back on topic. Yeah, computers frustrate me. Let's just leave it at that. I would never go into, I guess, you know, a computer career where, I mean, because the poor Action people, they've told the program just work, right? And it does on some computers, and on other computers it won't, for no apparent reason. The way to actually fix Action on my computer and get it to work some of the time is to, what do you have to do? Oh, far out. I got distracted. Someone from a car said something and then I got distracted. Oh, this is fancy. Look at that. It's not really that fancy. I just said it because there was someone looking at me and I just, no, I don't know. So I say you know and I don't even know. Okay, there is McDonald's over there for people who like McDonald's. Once again, this is a, not exactly what I'd call paradise, as the sign says up there, but you can see it's extremely busy around this area. And if you call this busy, just this is not busy at all. To compare, you go to Sydney City, where the population is like almost 5 million now in Sydney. It's just insane. Okay, let's keep going. See, these buildings aren't even tall. Like Sydney, you're looking up at these massive skyscrapers. Okay, you know what? We are 100% going to, what do you call it? Go past my unit that I used to own for the family daycare. I'm just going to stop recording, well, not stop recording, but just put it down for a moment because I don't want to walk past this bus stop with people seeing me. Yeah, bye. Just for a few minutes. Okay, we are back, and now you can see the actual price of petrol here. It's like 128, 130, 136, and LPG is the cheapest. Oh my goodness. See that McDonald's there? Well, there's a McDonald's there, you can't really see it. I used to go to that McDonald's because I worked up here, and like sometimes on my lunch break, oh, this is insane. An insane trip down memory lane. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I used to go, see, it's up that hill and around the corner is where I used to work in my own business, and my lunch break I'd go to this McDonald's. Oh, this is such a creepy feeling right now. Okay, let's go to a more relaxing area, because I know this area because I used to work here. I know where the relaxing areas are. Main problem I've got right now is with wind. I'm hoping it's not too windy around here. Okay, so let's move on to another topic now. Oh, yeah, I didn't even talk about action. So to get action to work, well, some of the time, not all the time, I have to go and disable multi-GPUs in the NVIDIA control panel. And I mean, that's a completely separate issue to what I was, dealing with. I mean, you'd think to fix action, you just change settings in action, but no, it's something completely separate from action, going into an NVIDIA control panel rather than an actual setting within action itself. So that was pretty insane. We'll just cross this road and then I'll talk to you about something else that's pretty interesting. Okay, here we are. Now, time to talk about Lance. Now, Lance is somebody, oh no, this wind is frustrating me. Oh, why does it have to be so windy right now? Look at this! You can see all these trees just blowing in the wind. Cannot stand this wind. Anyway, Lance is apparently, he's been inspired to make his own spin-off of Let's Explore. Now, where exactly he's doing it, I'm not 100% sure. He contacted me on Skype last night, and he said he did a Let's Explore in London, his first episode, but he said he had a lot of problems with, I can't remember now, because I was replying to him like after midnight last night before I went to bed, and I don't remember things good when I talk at that time. But what was it? He was saying he had a lot of problems because London is 80 kilometers away from where he lives. So to do a Let's Explore in London, I mean, he had to take the train there or something. And that was quite a, frustrating experience overall. And yeah, is he going to take pay for a train and go 80 kilometers every time he wants to do an episode? And I was saying, oh, why don't you just do it, start Let's Explore on your own street, start where you live. And he said he lives in a rural area, and I was like, well, maybe you could, a rural area is okay, that's something interesting. Maybe you can go, see what's beyond the borders of the rural area and do a wilderness adventure as well. Like, Let's Explore videos don't have to be set. I mean, sure, they might be more interesting in other areas, but you know, if lots of people start doing Let's Explores, yeah, it would just be interesting to see, you know, how the world gets mapped out with the Let's Explorers. Anyway, time to talk about another topic now. Not this morning, but remember the last Let's Explore, where I think On Top of the Mall it was called. That morning I completely forgot to talk about this. I was in a dream, and in the dream it's a really ridiculous dream. I dreamed that I'd gone back to the year 2014, and someone who knew that I was from the year 2016 asked me, you know, oh, well, how is the world different in 2016 versus 2014? And I said, this is really stupid. This is how I defined the era of 2016 as opposed to 2014. I said, 2016... I said, oh no, that's it. In 2016, it's all about the iPhone 6, what did I say? I said, in 2016, it's all about the iPhone 7 now as opposed to the iPhone 6. So that is literally the description I gave to define how 2016 is different to 2014. It's a pretty hopeless description. My goodness, there's always like Ray White signs and stuff. This is Shackle Avenue that we're actually coming up onto now. There's always like, you know, buildings being sold or bought here. It's absolutely insane. Anyway, I didn't finish with that dream. But in the dream, it's everything around me. I was trying to deliver a parcel somewhere, and everything around me started going black and flickering, and I heard a voice say, don't let it hijack your dream, or something like that. Then I woke up in my room. I absolutely could not move. I was frozen solid on my bed, and I could kind of slightly move my left arm and my head and eyes a little bit, but nothing else. And I looked, it was 9 a.m. and there was a dark figure actually sitting on the bed on me, so I could not move. And the dark figure then had its weird, I couldn't call it a hand, it was like a dark prodding stick thing coming from its head, and it was like trying to poke me, and it was hurting me, and I was trying to push this creature off, and I couldn't. I tried to yell, and I was screaming out like at the top of my lungs. All I could make was a like that was all I could say. So I was completely held down by this dark figure on my bed, could not move, and it was sitting on me. And eventually, after pushing and pushing, it finally faded away and I could move. Then I told my mum about it, and she was like, I heard you in your room, you were saying, but I just thought you were just, you know, making funny sounds as you were sleeping. But the thing is, I was awake looking into the real world there. Now that, in case you're wondering what that's called, it's called sleep paralysis. But before we talk about sleep paralysis, it's time to look at this building here. Now this is a very special building. Tira 12 to 16. It's a block of units, 2 levels, and it goes out far out the back, and some of the units have their own backyard. Now this is where I actually opened a family daycare centre. I had 4 children every day, and this is where I looked after them. Now, just to get an indication of Sydney prices, this is not like prime land in Sydney or anything. Tiny 1-bedroom apartment there. It was less than 50, it was like 46 square meters, including the backyard. And you know what? It's over $500,000 for that. I sold it now. Trying to pay off that bank loan was driving me nuts. So I was going insane with that. I was only just making the payments. Then when I had to stop working there, because the neighbors there were really mean, and they were like, oh, you know, the parents saying goodbye too loudly and this and that, and then I had to close up. But when I sold it, $6,000 profit on the property after holding it for just over a year. Anyway, now onto the topic of sleep paralysis. So yeah, I just thought that would be interesting. That is where I used to work, and then I used to walk down that road once a week or so, get McDonald's and come back up there. I had that job for about just under a year, like 11 months, but I had the property for 13 months. Yeah, pretty good job. So from now, what are we talking about? We're talking about sleep paralysis. So sleep paralysis is when your body goes to sleep at night, so you don't act out your dreams and move around in your dreams. Your body actually disables all the muscles or something so that you are unable, like the connection from your mind to your muscles, so you're unable to actually move. Otherwise, if you didn't have sleep paralysis, activated, you would actually, in your dreams, like if you're walking in a dream, you'd start walking in real life. And that's one of the reasons people who don't have proper sleep paralysis activated, they experience sleepwalking and their body does what their dreams do. You get what I mean? So basically, to explain what I had, that was sleep paralysis. I'd woken up, my mind was awake, but my body was still asleep. Sleep paralysis was activated and I couldn't move my body. But then you're wondering, okay, what is the dark figure that you saw? Why was there a dark figure there, you know, sitting on your bed? Well, that is still the mystery. You see, what the idea, there's two thoughts of it. There's a spiritual thought of it, and there is a scientific thought. Now, the spiritual thought is that it's some, you know, demon or something possessing your body or trying to get you. And the scientific thought, oh my gosh, sorry for all this noise. This is absolutely insane traffic here. The scientific thought of that is that your body, because you're scared that you can't move, you instantly, your mind creates some dark figure in your room to give reason to why your body can't move. Like, because you're scared of the fact that you can't move, it automatically creates a figure in your room, and like augmented reality, it inserts that figure into real life. Those are the two, you know, opinions of what the actual sleep paralysis is, but yeah, there they are. Anyway, it is time to now finish up this episode now. We have got a few different ways we can go. So let's get our ABC going here. We can either go, oh my gosh, it's all these cars and stuff. We can either go up here. This is A. This, I think, takes us up to Narroween or Beacon. It takes us somewhere. Okay, I don't know where. It's either Narroween or Beacon Hill, somewhere, something like that. Narroween isn't a great area. I wouldn't really want to be walking around Narroween. I mean, it's not bad. It's not like Cabramatta or, you know, a dangerous area in Australia. It's just like, yeah, for the northern beaches area, it's not great. This is B. I'm not 100% sure where that takes us. I'm thinking the same kind of thing. I don't know. What do you call it? I forgot. But it's B. And down here, if we keep going down there, that will take us down to a place called DY. Now, DY is known as the dump of the northern beaches. It's where you get all the cheap properties and you get a beachside living, but it's just a real, that's what people call it. There's the northern beaches, which is like 6 to 10, I don't know how many beaches it is, 6 to 10 beaches. Over there is DY, and it is known as the dump of the northern beaches. So we could go there, but pretty much everywhere, Narrowena and Beacon, well, not so much, Beacon Hill's okay, but you know, Narrowena and DY, I don't really want to go down there because it's kind of creepy. It's not a good area, but if that's what you guys want, that is what you guys will receive. DY also has a lot of apartments there too. Anyway, A, B or C, make your pick. I will see you guys next time.